Okay, what are we doing here?
Yo, we just watching TV.
Like, I feel like I'm on dick striction right now.
Dick striction?
I'm ready to go have sex.
I thought we could chill and get to know each other a little better.
Getting to know each other? The only thing I want to get to know is that dick. What did I tell you when we first met? I didn't want to...
You didn't want a relationship.
Yeah, I didn't want a relationship, right? I didn't want to go to the movies unless we're having sex in the movies. I didn't want to go anywhere in the car unless we were having sex in the car. I didn't want to be seen in public unless we were having sex in public. I just want the dick. Now, what I need you to do is detach your emotions from the dick. Because now you merge them as one. I need them to be two separate entities. All right. Ooh. That was amazing. That was fun. Did you have a good time? Not you. Did you have a good time? Call me the dick whisperer.
So do you want to go out and see a movie or something, or?
You want to watch a movie? You want to go for round two? How, big boy? All right. I'll see you later, baby, okay? Miss you. Hang up, man.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Troy now.
Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rechachadash. Double honors to apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to the elect, which you ought to be. Now it's your brother Hawaii from GMS Chicago. Got a quick little lesson for you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and confusion of faces whose bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are Israelites, whose spirit bear witness that they are a child of the Heavenly Father. And the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, who the world inly calls Jehovah God, and the name of the Heavenly Son is Yahweh Shai, who the world inly calls Jesus Christ, or Jesus Christos, or Yeshua, Yeshaya, Yahweh. And pretty much, one of the other prophecies that's coming to pass is Isaiah 4:1, that 7 women shall take hold of one man, and that 7 just means completion. It could be 20 women take hold of one man, it could be 40 women, it could be 50, it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much the men of the Lord in that time, when all hell breaks loose and Jacob's trouble and stuff, a man of the Lord is going to be highly valuable in that day, man. And I want to start off with Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. So look how these women are when it comes down to jewels, hair, the different delicacies of this world and stuff. The show off, the fashion, this, that, and the third. A man's going to be more precious than fine gold. Nowadays, women, they look at the man as some used shoes, man. But in that day, a man is going to be the next big thing, man. A man's going to be more important than their hair, than their weave in that day, man. It says even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. And gold is valuable, man. Nowadays stuff, if you gave a woman a choice between some gold and a woman and a man, guess what she gonna take? She gonna take the gold. You know what I'm saying? Without hesitation, she's gonna take that gold. But since the circumstances are gonna be so bad and so messed up, a man is gonna be more precious than that gold, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Isaiah chapter 32 verse 2. It says, "And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest." And the word tempest, it just goes into it like a storm. It's the word to Zaram. It's the Zadara Namaz Zaram. It says rain shower, thunderstorm, flood of rain, downpouring rainstorm. So when all hell breaks loose, you know what I'm saying? Because what happens when you're in a rainstorm? You can get wet. You know what I'm saying? If it's thundering and stuff, you got a chance of getting electrocuted by the thunder. You know what I'm saying? If the debris in the area and stuff, it's a lot of weak debris in the area and stuff. You got gigantic tree barks or different parts of rocks and stuff, flowing in the wind that can hit you in your head or hit you somewhere in your body and cause injury, man. You know what I'm saying? So a man is going to be a protection from all the plagues that the Lord is going to put upon America, man. You know what I'm saying? And anywhere else across the world, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, as a river of water in a dry place. You know what I'm saying? And say if you're thirsty, famine, you know what I'm saying? Scarcely of water, scarcely of food, and you parched and you dry mouth and all that and stuff. And you see a little bit of water in this place where it used to be a bunch of water. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go after that, man. You know what I'm saying? With all thirst, man. You know what I'm saying? Making sure any obstacle that's in your way, you're going to make sure you get to it, man. And that's how man of the Lord is going to be in that day. It says, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Like when it came down to Jonah, when he hid behind the gourd because the beam of the heat was so hot. You know what I'm saying? That shade was very desirous in that day, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the men of the Lord are going to be when it come down to these women out here, man. Because they're going to be seeking protection. You know what I'm saying? The young women going to be looking for help. You know what I'm saying? A Secret Service is going to pull up a lot of these guys out here just to go into the army, man. You know what I'm saying? And these women are going to be as widows, man. You know what I'm saying? Without a husband, it's going to be a lot of men out here dying as well, man. You know what I'm saying? And the woman's going to be looking for some help, man. This is Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1. It says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. So they're gonna eat their own food. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna drink their own drinks. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna wear their own clothes. That's what apparel means. It says, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So through the man, a woman's sin is going to be taken away. You know what I'm saying? For whatever man that she's dealing with at that time. You know what I'm saying? If it's a man of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? If he believes in a correct doctrine, a great millstone, you know what I'm saying? And he's putting his body as a living sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Being constantly changed into that renewed man. You know what I'm saying? And it's a woman that comes around and stuff. She deal with him in that day. Her reproach of her sin is going to be taken off because she's dealing with that man. And how does a woman gets the last name of a man? Through sex, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just you finna just come up to this dude and stuff and, oh, can I be called by thy name? You know what I'm saying? Like he's just gonna be calling your name and everything all good. No, you got to become one flesh, man. And how you become one flesh? Through sex, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a lot of sex. It's gonna be a lot of sex in the kingdom as well. You know what I'm saying? Because like it says in Isaiah 60:21, it says a little one shall become 1,000. So guess what? That means that it's going to be a lot of babies being born, man. And how do babies get born? It's going to go back the old-fashioned way, the real way. Not no test tube babies and stuff, crack babies and stuff. It ain't finna be nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be sex, sex over on this side. It's going to be sex in the kingdom. This is Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. It says, and if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, meaning that she ain't with nobody, she ain't dealing with nobody, you know what I'm saying? She ain't talking with nobody and stuff. It says, and lie with her, and that word lie is the Hebrew word shakab. It's the shadakah nabah shakab. It says to lie down. It says to lie of sexual relations. You know what I'm saying? You know, because ain't no man is gonna try to entice a woman or anything just so they can lay next to one another in the bed. You know what I'm saying? No, something else is gonna come that's gonna meet to your eye, man. You know, come into your brain, come into your thought process. It says, and if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. You know what I'm saying? So through sex is how the marriage is. You got that song by Beyonce, if you like it, put a ring on it. Well, the ring for a woman is her vagina. You know what I'm saying? The finger is the male's penis, man. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, put a ring on it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because in the scriptures don't say anything according to how Esau Edom does it, where you got to have your paperwork. You know what I'm saying? She got to wear a gown and all that stuff. You know, according to the scriptures, there's no putting no ring on the finger and stuff, and now you married. You know, according to the scriptures, going back to Adam and Eve, in order for them to become a marriage, because marriage means joined together. You know what I'm saying? They became one flesh. How? Through sex, man. You know. You know, the scriptures don't say anything about grabbing you some gold, some silver, a precious jewel and stuff, and finding the size to the size of your wife's finger and put it on it. No, it's through sex, man. You know. This is Genesis chapter 29. I'm gonna start up verse 16. It says, and Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. It says, and Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. So he was going to work to have his daughter, Laban's daughter. It says, verse 19, it says, and Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. It says, and Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her. And like the scripture says, men going out their wits for a woman. So he was that desirous, you know what I'm saying, for Rachel, that those 7 years only seemed like about a few days, man. You know, that's how much he really wanted Rachel, man. You know, so that's how you know that Rachel was fine in the eyes of Jacob, man. Verse 21. It says, and Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. You know what I'm saying? So he was betrothed. When he was doing that service, to be the husband of Rachel. You know what I'm saying? So Rachel was betrothed, meaning promised, unto Jacob, you know, for the services he was doing for her. And it says, just like you got 2 kings. What do they do? You got a king that's got a son. You got another king. He got a daughter or a couple of daughters. You know what I'm saying? And they make arranged marriages and stuff just so it won't be no conflict between them. You know what I'm saying? You know, so this was considered an arranged marriage. You know, and it says, verse 22, it says, and Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. So they was finna party. It says, and it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zipporah, his maid, for an handmaid. And it came to pass, verse 25, and it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is this that thou hast done unto me? So this how you know that they was drinking, they was in their sauce, this, that, and the third, you know, because Jacob evidently didn't recognize that it was Leah instead of Rachel, you know. It says, did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And it says, and Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. And Laban already knew what it was. It's just that he wanted more work out of him. He was being a nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know, verse 27, it says, fulfill her week, and her week is another 7 years. It says, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years. And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no ring on it. It wasn't people lined up in rows on left and right, the cake over here and stuff, and you got the little band playing, you got the best man behind you and stuff, and got the best woman maid or whatever they call it and stuff to give the flowers or the ring and stuff. No, they was just getting in. They had sex, and that's how they became husband and wife, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's what it's gonna be when it come down to Jacob's trouble, man. You know, you know. This is Genesis chapter 24, verse 64, and it says I started at verse 62. I started at verse 60. It says, and they blessed Rebekah, and Rebekah is Isaac's wife. It says, and they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, thou art sister, be thou the mother of thousands of millions, and let thy seed possess the gate of those which hate them. It says, and Rebekah arose and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels and followed the man, and the servant took Rebekah and went his way. Verse 62. And Isaac came from the way of the well Laariah, and it says, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lifted off the camel, for she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. So she got wooed when she saw Isaac. You know what I'm saying? You know how women be like, oh, I love a man in a uniform. That's pretty much how she was. She was all mind-boggled for what she had saw when she saw Isaac. And it says, verse 66, it says, and the servant told Isaac all things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think it mean when he took her, man? You know what I'm saying? They had sex, man. You know, they was getting down and dirty. What they call it back in the old days, knocking the boots. You know what I'm saying? You know, wetting that whistle or whatever. Hey, that's what was going down, man. They was having sex, and she became his wife, and he became her husband. You know? You know, it's pretty much plain and simple, man. You know, if I could find it, Genesis 3, around the last couple of verses. God, this is Genesis chapter 2, verse 23. It says, and Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. It says, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And that's through sex, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if you never had paid attention and stuff, the woman always acts like the man. You know what I'm saying? How a man can have multiple relationships and stuff, but he still acts as himself. But when it comes down to a woman having multiple relationships, she has the different spirits of those different other men that she dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So really the joining is that the woman acts more like the man, and it's not vice versa, man. You know, so they becoming one flesh. You know, the woman start acting like the man. She started liking the things that the man does. You know what I'm saying? And even if it's vice versa, the man still acts like himself. He doesn't take any traits, you know what I'm saying, or his spirit doesn't succumb to his wife, man, you know. So he's still head of the household, no matter how his outer appearance may look, no matter how weak he look, or how strong he look, or how fat he is, or how flimsy or whatnot. The man is still going to be head of the household regardless of anything, man. And they show you that in different movies where it's some lame dude but some popular girl. But the popular girl, even though she's supposed to be more, has some sort of fame more than the boyfriend that she's dealing with, and the boyfriend's lame, she still tends to take on those lame things that she end up liking about the lame boyfriend, because he's the head of the household, man. You know, this is This is Judges chapter 21, verse 20. It says, therefore they commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, go and lie in wait in the vineyards, and see, and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in dances, it says, then come ye out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin. It says, and it shall be, when their fathers or their brethren come out unto us to complain, that we will say unto them, be favorable unto them for our sakes, because we reserve not to each man his wife in the war, for ye did not give unto them at this time, that ye should be guilty. So hey man, when you take hold of a woman and stuff, and y'all get the fucking and stuff, that's your wife, man. Even during the time when she's betrothed, when you talking to her and stuff, and y'all dealing, you going out to the movies and whatnot, that's just the up and coming process of her becoming your girl, man. That's your girl even in the process, man. You know what I'm saying? You know. This is Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 13. It says, if any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, and give occasion of a speech against her, meaning saying that she's a hoe. Because back in the ancient days, what would happen is that if you was liking on some girl and you wanted to deal with her, and you want her to become your wife, what will be given to you is a sheaf. The sheaf was pretty much the show proof that the daughter that was given on to the man, that she was a virgin. So the hymen, once the hymen would break, the blood would be on the sheaf, and it would be proof that she was a virgin. Now, what's going on here is that the man is trying to say that she wasn't a virgin, that she already had popped by another dude, and that pretty much that the father had claimed that his daughter was a virgin, when really she wasn't, but just a hoe. So he pretty much trying to claim her as a hoe. It says, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. It says, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity. It says, unto the elders of the city in the gate. So if the sheep came out clean, that means that she was fucking somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But still trying to claim that she was a virgin, because what that does is put shame onto the father. You know what I'm saying? Because keeping your word and your reputation was a heavy thing when it come down to the nation of Israel. So if your father is saying that his daughter is clean, she ain't never dealt with nobody or anything, but then the tokens came back not bloody, the sheep came back not bloody and stuff, it put a shame onto her father, because he raised up a whore. You know what I'm saying? And brought shame onto his name. It says, and pretty much that would be a cause of adultery, because if she already dealing with one man and stuff, but claiming that she a virgin, she's playing the whore as well. So therefore, not only does she put shame on her father's name, she also got to get put to death alongside with the dude that's been mixing and mingling with her, and committing adultery as well. Going back to verse 15, it says, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. It says, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. It says, verse 17, and lo, he have given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, and the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he have brought up an evil name upon a virgin. And that word virgin is is bafwala. It's the ba, the tha, the wa, the la, and the ha, bafwala, which means virgin. It says pretty much a bride, also figuratively a city, a state of made a virgin, one that didn't have sex, because the other one is Lamaya, I believe, and it means a young woman. Like the whole situation when it came down to Mary. Mary, when it says that she was a virgin, you know what I'm saying, it's talking about her being a young woman. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why Joseph had put it away was because the tokens would have came back out that she wouldn't have been bleeding on the cloth, because Joseph and Mary were already having sex. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of the people would have looked at Mary as committed adultery, so Joseph hid it away so she wouldn't get put to death. Because the Lord is not an author of confusion. Everybody else having sex to be fruitful and multiply, and here it is, Mary and Joseph are Israelites, and yet Yahushua was supposed to come through the loins of Joseph. How else would he be a Judite? You are what your father is. Joseph was a Judite. How would Yahushua be a Judite if he ain't come from the loins of a Judite? Even Matthew's the first chapter to tell you the lineage of Yahushua. And it gives you a whole listing of Judites, man. King David, King Solomon, and then later down the line you got Yahushua coming out the line of a Judite, man. And scriptures clearly says underneath the law that Yahushua was brought into this world just like everybody else, according to Galatians 4:4. I'm gonna grab that right quick. This is not to throw off subject, but just to bring this out right quick. This Galatians chapter 4 verse 4. It says, "But when the fullness of the time was come, the Most High sent forth His Son, made of a woman, made underneath the law." You know what I'm saying? And the law is that when a woman has when she conceives seed, when she's pregnant, you know what I'm saying, according to Leviticus the 12th and the 2nd verse, you know what I'm saying, she has to go through what is called a purification process. You know what I'm saying? And Mary had to go through that according to Luke the 2nd chapter, man. She had to go through that. So that means that she gave birth through the process of pregnancy, which comes through sex. Meaning that Joseph had a bust up in her, man. You know what I'm saying? Just so in order for her to get pregnant. It wasn't no, go to little I forgot what they call them, where you pretty much ejaculate and stuff, and they freeze your sperm and stuff just so it could be inseminated into another woman. They didn't have that back then. So guess what? If a woman got pregnant, it's because they had sex. Back in Deuteronomy 22 and 19, it says, "And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he had brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife, and he may not put her away all his days." You know what I'm saying? So if it came out to find out that he was faulty and he was trying to come up with a lie, he just trying to stick it and quit it. You know what I'm saying? Hit it and quit it. He was gonna have to pay a certain fine to the father. And still have to deal with her for all her days, man. It says, but verse 20, it says, "But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel," it says, "then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she have wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you." You know what I'm saying? So if it ended up being true that she was being a hoe, that she was bouncing around on different guys, you know what I'm saying, and the tokens of her virginity came out clean and not bloody, then that means that she has to die. So no other Israelite woman can go about and be like, "Oh, you can bounce on more than one penis," and want to end up doing it again, and then guess what? You got evil that's being wrought in Israel, man. So hey, the ancient days and stuff is that we was gonna cut it off. We was gonna let it right there in the butt, man. So it won't be no evil to be spread. So you could have fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and not do that shit, man. It's totally different now when it comes down to being underneath Esau's rulership and stuff, because according to Ecclesiastes 8:11, it says, surely since the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore it's fully said in the sons of men to do evil, and Esau knows that because his ways is contrary to Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. It says in Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? This is a wicked vibration because it's against what the Lord had allowed, man. You know what I'm saying? And to keep the nation of Israel down and stuff, our women got to be whores, our men got to be sodomites, you know what I'm saying? And do all manner of abominable things that the Lord said do not to do, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, hurry up. This is Matthew chapter 1, verse 18. It says, now the birth of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. Now you go into that word birth. It's begat, engendering, nativity, birth. It says of men who father children to be born, to be begotten, of woman giving birth to children. You know what I'm saying? Right? It says now the birth of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach was on this wise, when as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, meaning she was already promised, because when you go into that word espoused, it's to woo her, ask her in marriage, to be promised in marriage, to be betrothed, and the angel had told Joseph, don't be scared to take Mary as a wife. It says was espoused to Joseph. Before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Spirit, meaning that Joseph and Mary was already having sex. So if everybody else would have found out that her tokens of virginity would have came back clean, they would have been looking at Mary like she's an adulteress. We got to stone her. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that Joseph and Mary was already fucking. That's all that was. You know what I'm saying? Verse 19, it says, then Joseph, her husband. So how else could she be her husband? It says, being a just man and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privily. You know what I'm saying? So he hid her so they wouldn't kill her. You know what I'm saying? Verse 20, it says, but while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. And the word conceive is geneo, is of men who fathered children, to be born, to be begotten, of women giving birth to children, to procreate by extinction of the mother, to regenerate, bear, begat, be born, bring forth, conceive, be delivered, of gender, make a offspring. So hey, the Lord said, be fruitful, be fruitful and multiply, man. You know what I'm saying? And he did it this way. This is I think Second Ezra 7. Second Ezra 7:1. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1. It says, I myself also am a mortal man. Now, remember, Solomon was the son of King David, so that means that they both were Judites, and before that in Matthews, it said Joseph, the son of David, so that means Joseph was a Judite, so the fact that Yahweh Shai was going to be his offspring shows that Yahweh Shai was a Judite, because according to Numbers 1:18, you are what your father is, and there you go. It says, I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. It says, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man. So what is the seed of man? Sperm, because the word sperma goes back to seed, man. The seed that was within itself, man. You know what I'm saying? Because within a man, we hold X and Y chromosomes, where we get male and female ready to be sprouted in a woman's uterus, man. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, if you look at it this way, man is the one who got the apple seed and stuff, shoots it into the dirt, and then you got more and more apples that's bearing seed within themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, the sperm would be the actual baby, and everything that the woman eats and stuff will be the fertilizer for her and the baby, man. You know, and that's how it goes. It says, and the pleasure that came with sleep. You know, and what's the pleasure that came with sleep? After you get done clapping and stuff, what tends to happen? You tired. You know, half your energy is gone. You know, you just want to lay down and roll over. You know what I'm saying? You know, it says, and when I was born, I drew in the common air and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature, and the first voice which I uttered was crying as all others do. And that's exactly how it happens, man. Every baby does it, man. You know. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2. No, I think it's 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 13. It says, for Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. It says, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. And what is childbearing? Having sex, you know. It says parentage, that is implication, maternity, childbearing, you know, childbearing, beget or bear children. How do a woman do that if it takes 9 to 10 months for the baby to come out? She got to be impregnated, you know. And how does that happen? Through sex, man. You know, it says, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety, you know, sobriety, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, when it all hell breaks loose and stuff, guess what? The men, Lord and stuff, they gonna have whatever amount of women that the Lord deemed them to have during that time and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They gonna cleave onto that man through sex. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's just how it's gonna go. You know, and I hope this video was edifying, and I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachach Kodash. Double honors to apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to elect which you ought to be. Shalom and Abba Babal. And one other thing is that, like, for all these women that be out here choosing, the roles gonna turn, because the men are gonna be choosing. You know what I'm saying? You know, like one of the brothers has said before, that we gonna really like push these women off, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're gonna be talking about some please, please, please. You know what I'm saying? But all those guys, different guys that you've been passing on and being like, no, you didn't want to deal with them, or they was just too lame, or this, that, or third. You be prepared to receive that same type of treatment, man. You know, and Shalom and Abba Babal.